Welcome to the light. I'm Adolphina Shephard, and this is my co-host, Thomas Knight Templar.
Good evening.
Well, as always, folks, we have a fabulous show lined up for you. And tonight we're going to be talking about repairing the meridians. Now, you know, one of the things that God's Way, YTVY, is trying to do is to take you from a Neanderthal type situation into an evolved superhuman. And if you, in fact, if you can pull up the first illustration, I'll give them an idea of what in the back, what I'm talking about. So basically, through this work we've been doing, which is the basic 7-step system of the modality of YTVY, it will actually build you and take you through these steps. Okay, so you can see all the way to the left, a being that's kind of dark and kind of crunched over. And each one of these 7 steps that we've taken you through, plus some, will raise you higher and higher until you get to be the new evolved superhuman, because that's where we're going. We're going into a stage of being a superhuman, and that's where God's taken this evolutionary process. Okay, we're done with that. I just wanted to give folks an idea of what we're talking about. So you can see how if you've been following along, you should be starting to feel some serious improvement if you've been doing the work consciously and conscientiously. So tonight we're going to be talking about the meridians, because this is a key, because think of it like this. If the meridians feed your organs. Now, you may have heard about acupuncture a little bit. You might know or know someone who's seen an acupuncturist. Well, basically, what they're doing is unblocking the meridians.
They use the meridian system.
Yeah, the meridian system. Now, what is the meridian system? The meridian system is a circulatory system that is similar to your blood vessels or your lymphatic system. It runs completely through your body. And if one of those, if one of those meridians get broken, which is really quite easy, then you have a challenge. Just like if you can think of a blood vessel breaking, or having a lymph vessel cut, like if someone has breast surgery or whatever, yeah. And then they get the arm that swells up really big because if they've cut the lymphatic system. Yeah. So we're going to be talking all about this and explain this to you. Now here's the key. Here's the key. This is something most people don't know. Okay. You know, you can find the blood vessels, right? I mean, if a doctor cut you open, you can find the blood vessels. You can find the lymphatic system. Guess what? If a doctor cuts you open looking for it, you cannot find it physically. The key is they are invisible. They are invisible.
Well, this meridian system, it does nothing but really run the energy that runs through you. And cutting into it surgically, like you have mentioned, a car accident, or any other kind of breaking a bone, anything that punctures the skin or hurts you that way is going to damage the meridian system, and it has to be repaired through prayer. And once it's repaired, then you run better, like you went for a tune-up.
Yeah, and you know, it's really the elixir of life, because the only thing that's missing when a person dies is energy. I mean, think about it. They still have all their organs, they still have their blood vessels, their lymphatic, they have everything. What's missing? Energy, right? The soul leaves, the body has no more energy. So the meridians feed all of the organs. They feed through your nervous system, and so they're a very important component. And you know, the way the acupuncturist finds them is through feel. Just like we feel with the energy medicine and the faith healing we do, we feel it through scanning. So it's feeling, because everybody can feel. Not everybody might have psychic vision or clairvoyancy or psychic hearing. Right, but if you can learn to feel with this holographic scanning we've been teaching you all along, you can learn how to access this if you want to learn how to discern. Right? Because, I mean, we're very lucky that we had the advantage that when it all sums up, really, you know, we have to ask God to repair them. And that makes it easy because the acupuncturist has to go feel your entire body, put in probably 200 needles maybe in each session.
I've had it done.
Have you had it done?
I've had it done, and you know, some people say it's painless. I wouldn't agree. Okay, but then again, you know, I guess I didn't have a little Asian doctor doing it to me. I had a person doing it to me, and she wasn't exactly gentle.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, I've had it done too before I was given this technique, and most of the needles were painless because they're real skinny and little, but when they hit that key point, oh my God, it's like...
Those are the thinnest needles I have ever seen.
Oh, I know, you can barely see them, right?
They're like, if you held it in the light, you could hardly see it. It's like a piece of thread.
Yeah, like a piece of thread. They're
But I
so
was bleeding
skinny.
every place she put them in.
Oh, wow. Huh. Well, I'll tell you what, I know that it works because what it's doing, it's unblocking the meridians, because just like there are blocks in your chakras, so do our meridians get blocked. So let's say someone has some broken meridians. Whatever emotion is associated with that particular block, when they clear, people may actually feel a fleeting emotional anger or sadness or grief, and they may not even know where that's coming from. You know, but basically that's what it is. It's because of the fact that these things are clearing. Now, they kind of run in crazy ways all over your body. So I'm going to ask the crew in the back to put up the illustrations of the meridians, and we'll just run through them so you can get an idea. So can you put up the first illustration of the meridians? Yeah, so we'll see. Now, the challenge with the repairing the meridians is that only a person with the gift of the Holy Spirit can repair them. Okay, now this is, if I can see that right, because, oh boy, that's far away. It's the governing vessel and the conception vessel. And as you can see, they are the main meridians that run in the front of your back, in the front of your body, and along your back. So these are the two main meridians, and all the other meridians connect into these. Okay, and so let's move on to the next meridian picture. Yeah, and we'll see which one comes up. But basically, you know, if you have a break in a meridian, sometimes it will feel burny or like chaotic energy or a pain where you can't figure it out.
Would it be like spasmodic energy?
It could be, but I mean, since it's actually energetic, it might feel like burning. Or just generally hot. You might have a hot spot on your body, you know. Okay, so that one there that was shown is the stomach and the bladder and the gallbladder meridian. Now, if you look at it, we'll start at the left. You see, it's really quite straightforward, and it comes down your toe and out your toe. So all your toes and fingers have meridians that come out of them. So now the one in the middle, you can see that's the bladder meridian. That comes out your baby toe. Now, the one all the way to the right is the gallbladder meridian. And if you see, that's the back view. But the front view is just as crazy. It runs completely in an odd pattern throughout your body. So, and it goes up around your head, along your face. And so that's the one that's really difficult to imagine if you were tracing that to try to clear that. Okay, so now let's move on to the next picture. We might as well get them all out of the way because there's 14 of them, so we'll do that. And the next one there, that is the pericardium, or the heart governing meridian. And you can see it runs down your arm and comes at your finger. And interestingly enough, if you look at that, it's the middle finger. Well, when people get mad, have you ever seen that gesture?
They flip you the bird.
Yeah, they flip you the bird.
That's it.
So that's what.
Boy, does that feel good.
Yeah, you know, when they do that, right? Yeah. And we actually have two more on this chart. Now, we got the heart meridian. Now, that one comes out of your pinky finger. And then you have the lung meridian, which comes out of your thumbs, okay? And that out of your thumb is also linked to God.
Heart and going down your right arm, according to these pictures. then why do the people who usually have a heart attack say they feel it on the left?
Well, you know what? Because your brain is wired opposite, left and right, and so forth. So one that would run down this way would be controlled by this part of your brain. It would run down. So if it's here, you're going to feel it here. So that's why if you have a pain in your shoulder here, it's most likely coming from the other side of your shoulder. So like if you put that icy hot on or whatever that as you get older, I love that stuff. You put it on the right, put it on the left.
Like cologne.
Oh my God. Yeah, but you know what? My hubby can't stand that smell, but I swear by that stuff, that icy hot.
Do you think that we want to go to bed with our wives that smell like Bengay?
I know, it does smell like Bengay.
Please.
But you know what? It really does work. All
Yeah,
right.
all right.
Let's see. Now, let's come up with the last illustration, and it kind of will give you a total picture of how the meridians run through your entire body. You see that? So there's points that run through your whole torso and down your arms and then down through your legs. So, okay, I think that's good enough just to give people an idea. So now, as you look at that, you can see, for instance, let's say if you have a car accident and your chest hits the steering wheel, you can easily break meridians that are in your chest. So, and this can then lead to heart challenges, lung challenges, wherever that's broken, the organ is no longer being fed.
All the bones and nerves and veins and stuff will heal eventually. Why don't the meridians heal naturally?
Well, that's a good question. And I think the main reason is because a person needs to have the gift of the Holy Spirit in order to repair these. Okay. And then it's divine will. So if we ask God to repair these meridians, and it's God's will, then it will be repaired. Now, think of it like this, though. So let's say you're a really bad, evil person. God, I don't think judges really, but if the timing, depending on the timing, if it's time for you to come home, they're not going to be repaired because that may be your method for going home. You see what I mean? Because your organs only have a limited lifespan. It's the meridians and the nerves that feed your organ continual life. So if you can take an extension cord and think of holding it like this and then taking a pair of scissors and cutting through it, well, that's exactly what happens when you get a meridian break. So the electricity coming from that plug-in is no longer now able to feed that organ.
So in other words, the meridian system around the body is very much like the longitude and latitude lines of a globe.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Works the same way, carries the same energies.
Well, yeah, and you know what? Think about it. Like the equator, the south equator, the north equator, and so forth. So, yeah, and they all have different energies. Like, for instance, the lung meridian combines energy from air with energy from your food. And it distributes energy under the skin for protection against pathogens. Excretes body fluids through sweating. And the negative attribute to that is grief, sadness, and depression. The positive attribute is courage and integrity. And its color is white. Its color is white. So it also has a time frame. If you, for instance, if you wake up every night between 3 and 5 a.m. in the morning, you might want to go get, for instance, a chest x-ray because it's your lung meridian. So if that lung meridian is broken, then perhaps you have a lung challenge or something in the physical, so you should follow up on that. Or, it could just be a broken meridian.
Good luck trying to get that done at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I know. But, you don't have to, you can get that done anytime. But what I'm saying is that the time frame can kind of clue you into the area of what the problem is. Like, you just know that you feel ill, but you don't know why you feel ill. Well, if it's every night at the same time, whether it's 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock, it can kind of clue you in. Like here, the heart meridian is from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that's around lunchtime, right? So if for instance, you always get indigestion and you just happen to eat lunch at that time, you might think it's the food you ate, but it really might be because the heart meridian's broken. You see? So now the heart governing is also called the pericardium, or the heart protector.
Can they break without physical contact?
Pardon me?
Can they be broken without physical contact?
Oh yeah, the meridians can be, the question was, can they be broken without physical contact? Yes. You know what's a big breaker of meridians is electromagnetic frequencies.
So if you had a cell phone on you?
A cell phone, let's think of going through the airport scanners, how hard that is, and so forth, and repeated exposure, or having your leg next to a computer tower all the time. You might break some things in that area. Electromagnetic frequencies generally aren't very good, and one of the reasons why we do grid repair over and over and over again is to strengthen your grid system, because if you think about it, they're kind of like a spider web until they've been reinforced over and over again, and then maybe they're more like a strong wire, like a hanger, for instance.
Well, everything we do during the day, in our homes, we're surrounded by a grid system. In our cars, we're surrounded by a grid system, and we carry a grid system on us on our cell phones. And laptops and every other thing.
Yeah, so it weakens it. So, you know, this
Lighting.
is one of the reasons for doing this, is to strengthen your, it's called so many different things. I learned it and called it the electromagnetic body, but it's also called the quantum field, the biofield, the aura. It's basically your light body. And in many cultures, it's also called the rainbow body, the diamond body, the wedding dress of God. But the wedding dress of God, you don't get there until you've probably gotten to the figure that I showed you, all the way to the left, all the way to the right. You know? But like here, let's see, let's continue on. The large intestine is 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. Oh, no, wait a minute, that's got to be 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's a boo-boo there. So basically, the negative attribute there also is grief, sadness, and depression, and positive is courage and integrity. Small intestine, this is really something. This 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., negative attribute is hate and impatience. You know, there's so much bitterness going on in some people, and I would venture to say, I bet you there's a challenge with the small intestine or that particular meridian. The positive is love, joy, and respect. So
That's when it's running properly.
Yeah. Yeah, so sometimes
the point of it is so many people with this particular negative attribute, you might call it, and how are you supposed to tell them, you know, you should, you know, try to fix your meridian around your intestines, your small intestine. I mean, they're going to take you out of your mind.
Well, yeah, you know, the thing is that's the type of person where if they're not interested in learning energy medicine or faith healing, well, in that case, you can ask them if they want a session with you. You know, because you, first of all, that's the one thing. See, when I first learned about the meridians, I was learning from an energy medicine teacher, and what they were doing was they were clearing the meridians. Well, when you clear the meridians, you do it energetically by activating the energy, and you're clearing it following the pathways, just like they're showing there. But the challenge with it is that a day or so after they're cleared, you can again find the break, because the meridians may be clearer, but the break is still there. In other words, unless you have the gift of the Holy Spirit, or God or divine will comes through and fixes that, that will not be welded back together, the meridians. So, you know, it really is divine will. It's really not our decision, it's God's decision, you know, who gets these fixed and so forth. And I would venture to say that most of the people would get them fixed if it doesn't conflict with their
Well, there's no doubt about it that, you know, with all the things that we have out there today that could possibly harm us and hurt this meridian system, you're going to need to do this every day.
Once you're repaired and strengthened, they get stronger. They get stronger. Like, I mean, you'll double check me when we start checking each other and see who has broken meridians and so forth. But you know what? I don't think I have any breaks. And we'll see for the people who, you know, generally speaking, until these repairs are done, everybody has breaks. I'll give you another good example, because C-sections are so very common.
Yes.
You know, with women, and sometimes they're necessary, sometimes it's just convenience. But What happens is you have 6 meridians running through your torso. What happens when the doctor performs that operation, cuts across the stomach area, the torso, to get the baby out? You're cutting the meridians. Well, you know what? Next thing you know, they might have bowel problems, female problems. You know, and I actually even knew a person one time who, you know, they give you that solution to drink when you have to go for a colonoscopy. She had to take that every day just to go to the bathroom. Yeah, because it was all broken. And I offered my assistance, but for some reason, I guess she must have thought it was voodoo. She didn't take me up on it.
That's what somebody would think. But they give them that solution. It's it's disgusting. And what it does, it just totally lubricates the intestines. And you just go and go and go. And that's why they're giving it to her. So, because she can't force herself at all, because it pops the stitches inside and out. So that's why they do that.
Well, you know, the thing is, I mean, this is every day of her life. After she had a C-section, she had to do this. I mean, imagine that, you know. And so then naturally, think about it like this. You can have any type of problem in a situation like that. It could be a hip, because now the lower part of the body is not being fed, do you see? Now, there's also something called AcuFlow stop points. I call them stop gaps, because what they are is little, along the meridians, there are little points. And it's basically, so if you get a break in a meridian, that the energy doesn't spew chaotically throughout the whole body. Just like, think of it like what would happen if a blood vessel was broken. The blood, you get if it's a tiny one, you get a big bruise or whatever,
It'll
right?
coagulate in the same spot.
Yeah, well, imagine if the meridian breaks and then that energy just would spew out into your body chaotically. It would really create a problem. So they kind of act like a stop gate. Can you put up that picture? Let me see if I can, which one was that? The last one that showed all the meridians, because you'll see the AcuFlow points on that picture, if you can pull that up in the back there. And yeah, it's front and back. And we'll see if, see all those little dots? That's what I'm talking about. They're the AcuFlow points. It's probably not a terrific view for our TV viewers to see this, but you can see all the little tiny dots. They're AcuFlow points. And that's what kind of stops the energy from just kind of...
So in other words, those are human check valves.
Yeah, they're check valves, yeah. Okay, we're done with that. So, and also, it's actually called newly found points. You have them in your head everywhere too, chi points, and which are similar to AcuFlow points, but they're called the newly found points because I guess they were found after they were newly found. And so anyway, when we get attuned by our angels or by God, many times you'll feel them going through a point in your head to reach any part of your body. So I find that fascinating too. So you have them everywhere throughout your body. That's why the meridian system is just so important. Now, the kidney governs birth, growth, reproduction, short-term memory. It determines the will. It's the foundation of yin and yang for all other organs. And the negative attribute is fear. The positive is wisdom and gentleness. And the color is blue-black. So you can see they all have an emotion and they all have a time frame. Now that particular one, the kidney, is 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. So now with the toes, the meridians run through your toes, so you've heard of reflexology. You know, and they'll stimulate, you got points, those AcuFlow points in your feet too.
5 p.m. to 7 p.m.? 5 p.m. to 7 p.m.?
Yeah, the kidneys are, yeah.
I can't do it at that time. It's happy hour.
Oh, how about that?
Okay.
So, you know, the reflex points in your feet that reflexologist will stimulate are those points we were showing you on the body. They run through your entire body, and they're also in your hands too. So they're just everywhere through your body. So that's the thing. So we're going to repair them and get them fixed up tonight. So now the liver is from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. And the negative attribute there is anger, and positive is kindness, and that color is green. And we have the stomach from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., and the bladder from 3 to 5 p.m., and gallbladder is anger, and the positive attribute is kindness. So it also executes planning there. It has to do with planning. So that gives you an idea there. So how do we repair meridians? Well, we have to assess them first for training purposes, and there's a lot of ways to do this. You can do it with psychic vision. You can do it with psychic hearing. You can get yes or no answers with a pendulum if you're trained in that. But the preferred way is through scanning and feeling. This way everybody can do that, okay? So we can do, for instance, I'll tell you what, we'll do it now. We can do a flat-handed scan to see if, first for a yes or no answer. That's where our angels will put up an electric holographic scan for us to feel if it's yes or no. So if I'll just do it on you, okay? So we can see. So Lord, please show me if Tommy has any breaks in his meridian, and see I can get, that's a yes. So so we'll check on that, and so now you do me. See if I have any breaks. That's the easiest, quickest way to find out.
Flat-handed scan.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay, so thank God it doesn't look like I have any breaks. Okay, so now what we can do is we can also do the front and back of the body, which is where we're asking the Lord to show us where the breaks are in the front or the back of the body. Because as you saw on the illustrations, they run all up and down through your body, the front and back.
Mine's going to be right there.
Yeah, you know, maybe it's your gallbladder.
No,
Yeah.
it's a sciatic.
Yeah, it just happens to be right there at the
Well,
sciatic, right?
It could be the gallbladder causing it, I
Yeah,
guess.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, yeah. So, you know what we'll do? How about if I scan you front and back, and we'll get an idea where it is. So I'm going to say, Lord, please show me where on Tommy the breaks are. So I'll go front and back, please show me that. And there's one right around here. And one in here, like your low back, where your sciatic area is. So, so we know that you have at least those two breaks. I should go all the way down your legs. Please continue down the legs. I don't see any in your legs or your feet. Okay, so that's the way we can assess, because you know, the whole purpose is for knowledge, not just to get them fixed. I mean, there's some people, they just prefer to come in and have a session and get repaired, but, you know, for most people, they want to kind of understand it, you know? So we have our volunteers. You want to scan Brian, see if he has any breaks?
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, I'd just like a doctor, or two doctors could come up with a different diagnosis, right? If Tommy scans them and you don't look, will you get the same scan?
Well, I don't, the question was, would I get the same scan as Tommy would if I didn't see it? And the answer to that is I would be shown in a similar manner, although, you know, remember that he has different angels than I have. So they may have a slightly different way of presenting it to him than it would be for me. But I mean, the main thing is that we should be able to get it in the same kind of area.
All right, so why don't we try it? Let him scan Tommy.
Brian.
Let Tommy scan Brian.
Okay.
You don't look.
Okay.
Close your eyes. And
Okay.
then after you're through, you scan them.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, and then it depends
so-
too how good your hand feeling is. All right,
Okay, sis, don't look.
I'm gonna shut my eyes.
Would you bring Brian in or anything?
No, that's all right, because we'll just do it from a
You don't wanna
distance.
bring Brian
You
in.
know,
How
yeah.
about scanning me? Would you want to scan me?
Yeah, all right, I
instead?
can scan you.
Can-
Oh, well, no, I don't have to,
Can he also get caught up
no,
in
it's from a
this?
distance,
Okay,
so you don't have
okay.
to stand close by.
Okay.
Okay, so now, I'm gonna, you want to scan him, or do you want us to scan you?
No, I want you to scan me, but you scan me first,
Uh-huh.
okay? Well, let me, turn around.
What, are we doing front and back?
Front and back.
Okay.
Yeah, come forward a little bit. Okay, there we go. There's our volunteer victim tonight.
You did shower, didn't you? Okay.
All right, Tommy, you
Yeah.
scan me first, don't look.
Okay.
Ooh, I felt that.
So you're basically, yeah, you know what? I think you're pretty sensitive to the energy because
Okay.
you can feel
Yes,
it.
all right.
All right, so you were feeling the areas. So Lord,
All right,
please
now
show
you
me where
try it.
Mike has breaks in his body. Yeah, like that to me is around here. Can you feel that when I do that?
Yeah, I feel
See,
it.
and let's go down further. Okay, a big, it
He's got it in
feels
the
like
hips.
big breaks lower, like around
Yeah.
the root. And let me ask to go from the root down the legs and through the toes. Actually, I even feel around your feet. You have something happening down the feet.
No,
Did
but
you-
over here, you felt it, yeah.
Did you feel it in
Yeah,
your feet?
I felt
Yeah.
a little. Now, you did the same type of thing,
Yeah,
right?
same thing.
Did you go
Yeah.
down to the feet?
I didn't go down to the feet. I'm worried out to his hips.
Yeah, I also felt something around your feet. So you might have some breaks in your feet. Do you have any feet problems?
No, not really.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
good. I mean, you know, you don't
Yeah.
really want to have any, but it's good to know. So we know you have breaks then, and so what we're going to do is as soon as we scan everybody, we'll run the energy and we'll get those fixed up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, Christine, you want to be next? You don't have to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do me off camera.
Okay, so then I'm going to scan one of our volunteers at a distance for Christine. So Lord, please show me if Christine has any breaks in her body, please, in her meridians. Is this something how a lot of them seem, this one seems more like in your throat, maybe around your tummy area, and then down more around your root. And let me start from your root, go down to her feet, down her legs. Okay, so your legs and everything were fine, but I actually felt like three, like in here, here, and then around the root. So, you know, we're going to get all these fixed up. It's just to give you an idea because everybody has it down there. I felt when I did that, I felt like a little, like I can't tell you exactly
Tingling?
how it felt. It kind of felt like waffly, but not big like the others around the knee. So I didn't even pick up on that. Who do you want to check? We got, who do we have
I
left?
just wanted to
Pat?
do it.
We have Pat. And we got Brian too. What?
It's on her knee.
Oh, okay, so he's starting on her knee. So, okay, so we have Brian. Don't worry, it's going to get fixed up. You want to check Brian?
Okay. Ready, Brian? I don't want you to think we're dating or anything. Oh, he's got a big one. He's got a bigger one. I don't have
Yeah.
to stretch. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, see,
He's got it
so,
down the bottom by the knee.
so he has a lot of
Yeah,
breaks
three,
in.
yeah.
And you know, he's on the computer a lot, so it could be the electromagnetics doing that, yeah. Also, one thing I forgot to mention is the emotions have something to do with this too. Let's say somebody experienced a trauma of some sort. You know, somebody dies, somebody gets raped, somebody gets fired from a job, or you know, somebody gets some type of turmoil like that can also break them just from the energetic shock of it. The emotional shock, I should say, creates an energetic shock.
So you're saying there's an emotional tract in the meridians.
Yeah, it can. That also can cause these breaks. Yeah. So let's see. Who do we have left? We have Pat to scan. So let's check Pat. It's my turn, I guess. Lord, please show me if Pat has any breaks in the front back of her body. I feel it around the throat. Maybe a little one in the back. Another little one in the back. But down further, bigger. Now let's see.
Nothing with the shoulder?
Yeah, I was actually feeling something up there, yeah. But there were a couple little things along the back too that I wonder, you know, probably around the spine.
So far,
Yeah, so, you know,
Well, it's probably going to be all related to the one side.
yeah, probably, yeah. And so hopefully all these things will be fixed up. So let's see, I guess we should,
Well, she is going to have surgery, so if she's going to do that, don't
they'll
you-
have to be
they
repaired
have to
again.
be repaired again.
Yeah, they'll have to be repaired again because any type of surgery when they cut through will break the meridians and the grids. You know.
Can you pre-open that space, or reroute the space for the surgical cut and then, you know, bring it back?
I would say that's kind of unlikely because, I mean, it's just like saying if you were going to go get a car repair, let's say, that you were going to I mean, it could be done probably, but it's probably a lot more complicated to move wiring around and do this and that. So
Well, I'm just saying that, you know, as the meridians come down in the back,
Yeah.
she has to have a shoulder done. She's going to be between two meridian lines. So if you can stretch those meridian lines without breaking them, just bend them, and they do the incision, but they're going to do 3 holes scoping, and they're probably going to do it in the back.
You know, I'll tell you what, if she wants to call on the Lord to do that, that can probably be done.
I think so.
You know, I mean, that's something that would require divine intervention for sure. Definitely.
Can you rescan me?
You want to be
No, yeah.
rescanned?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna get on first.
All right. So we got another volunteer up here.
Re-volunteer. I'm a re-volunteer.
A re-volunteer. Okay. So we're gonna scan Brian. Okay. So I'm gonna ask again for any breaks in Brian's body to be shown. I feel something around the throat. Something kind of around the middle. And big around the bottom. Now, let me go down your legs.
It is big around the bottom.
Yeah. Not stop that. So now let's go down from the root down to his legs. Show me his legs, Lord, too. I feel a little break. I feel some little breaks there, but nothing all the way down your legs and feet. So that's good. But yeah, there's breaks. See what I mean? Most people do have breaks until they're repaired. So they're a really key component of our whole system, even if they are invisible, you know? So we're going to fix you up, kiddo. Don't worry.
Thank you.
You want to scan him? You want to scan him?
I scanned him already.
Oh,
He's
okay.
in the other room. I had the same scan
Yeah,
you
see,
did.
if you remember, he was shown humongous breaks, you know, whereas mine were more condensed, but they were in the same area.
Could you both do
Yeah.
it at the same time?
Well, it might confuse it a little because the energy is going to be flowing from him and me. If we were further apart, it would be easier to do
Can you give
that.
it a try? I don't think no one's watching anyway. Just
What?
give it a try.
What? no, because you know what? That might cause too much energy to flow, and I don't want to break anything with us. You know what I mean?
No.
It's kind of like getting an overflow of
Do
energy.
you think that type of energy would be seated?
Say again?
Would that type of energy of like from one person giving a scan and another person at the same time, would that deceit energy?
Deceit or defeat?
Deceit.
Deceit?
Is it the seat of the energy? Is
Yes.
that what you're saying?
Yes.
No, I'm just saying it would just be a lot. You know what I
We'd
mean?
be crossing the streams, in other
Yeah,
words.
kind of like in Ghostbusters where they're crossing the streams. That's a good
Same
analogy. That's a good analogy. You know, we were talking about something a little while ago, Tommy and I, and we were talking about how people, when they get into this type of work, they want to go from 0 to 100 right away. They don't want to go, to 0 to 10% to 20% to 30%. But you know what? It can't be any other way because I'll give you a perfect analogy. What was that movie called with the Indiana Jones with the crystal skulls? Remember the German scientist? She was going, show me, I want to know everything.
Kingdom
And
of the
she
Crystal
blew
Skull.
apart. Yeah. The king. Do you remember how she blew apart? Well, that's what would happen if you go from 0 to 100. It's too much.
Because those
It's
skulls,
too
those
much.
crystal skulls are said to have superior,
Thanks, Bri.
superior alien energy.
Yeah.
And our human bodies can't take an enormous jolt like that.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
There
I
was
know.
another movie like that, Forbidden Planet, where the guy went on this machine, and it was the Dr. Demorpheus, no less, who was the guy's name.
Oh, that's funny.
Okay, and he puts, Robert the Robot was in the movie, and he puts this thing on that teaches from some group called the Krell. But what the bottom line of the movie is that the Krell developed such a tremendous mental capacity that their fears came into play, and they created a monster that they couldn't defeat with their superior minds, and it eventually killed them, and eventually killed Walter Pidgeon, who played this guy who had Anne Francis as his daughter. Oh my God, this is going nowhere. Just stop the thing.
Well, you know, I love using movies as analogies, though, because it's so much simpler than, trying to use a giant, long scientific explanation. You just show it in the movie, and a picture tells 1,000 words, So now, what do we always do? I'll ask the, the audience and everybody, before we do any type of energy work, of course, we always clear, because we want to be a clear channel ourselves, number one.
If there's permission.
And we want to have everybody else cleared too, because it just makes any negative energy stronger.
Yes, but the last episode, you said that we could only be cleared once every 3 months.
No, that's for the inner child.
That's inner child.
I'm talking about right now is clearing of any negative energies, and you're clearing and you're protecting the space. Also incorporated into this little prayer is also something else that also runs a tiny bit of healing for whatever it is you need. As you'll see, I'll tell you what that sentence is. Right here. We ask that you send the vibration of viral bacterial neutralization to neutralize any virus, bacteria, or illness in our bodies, and in the clearing vibration for the length of time that is appropriate for each of us. So while we're running this clearing energy, you're also receiving some healing. Like if you had a flu bug coming on or something, that should be neutralized during this clearing as well.
What about Ebola? This is really becoming front page news.
Yeah, I've been reading a lot of information about the Ebola. I don't know if you heard Tommy, but he was talking about the Ebola virus. The first thing that blew my mind was that I read an article that said the U.S. government owns the patent on that. So,
does it surprise you?
Well, I mean, what would they have
What are
created
they doing on
that
Hart
for?
Island in Long Island?
I don't know.
All right? People coming down with it here in New York.
Really?
Okay, how is that happening? And they keep on saying it because they travel to Africa or they work in clinics in Africa, which is always possible. Take a risk when you do something like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, how does a friend of mine's daughter had gotten the other thing, the flesh-eating one?
Oh my God, that's
in
a
Florida,
terrible virus.
on vacation.
Wow.
Almost lost a leg.
Well, there's chemical warfare, and I think.
And we're
these
the guinea
things-
pigs.
Yeah, I think these things were developed for that, and the pharmaceutical companies also make the antidote, so then they profit greatly, and maybe a lot of people die at the same time, and maybe that's a hoped-for thing for some of the powers
Here we say
that be.
follow the money. I would love to know where it goes in
Yes,
this one.
follow the money, he says, right? That's true, follow the money. But I read some very interesting things in addition to that about how vitamin C is amazing. I mean, when they say they use the chelation therapy or chelation therapy.
Chelation.
Yeah, and basically that's infusing you with vitamin C. And so what that does is that kills a lot of bad things in your body. So they were saying that if you beef up on the vitamin C, that'll keep your immune system strong enough to kill anything. And also silver colloidal, I also read, is wonderful for that.
Well, there was a product, it may be still available, it's called sea silver.
Sea silver, yes, years ago I used to take that.
Yeah, sea silver has all of that colloidal, chelated vitamins and the silver colloidal.
Huh. You know what? I've forgotten about that. That was really quite good. Well, you know what? We don't have a whole lot of time left, so I think we ought to. We'll start running the prayers, and then we can chat while we're doing that. So let's do the YTVY prayer for clearing and energetic hygiene. We send energy to you, God, in the vibration of unconditional love, and ask in the name of Jesus Christ that you send the energy back to facilitate the work we're doing here today. Your energy, Father, Mother God. We ask your Holy Spirit to place protection around all of us that need this protection in our sphere of influence for a period of 10 days. We ask that you send the vibration of viral bacterial neutralization to neutralize any virus, bacteria, or illness in our bodies, and in the clearing vibration for the length of time that is appropriate for each of us. And we ask you, God, in the name of Jesus Christ, to remove all energies that are not for our highest good, wherever, whenever, and in any loopholes.
I like that.
Yeah, from this space and in our bodies, the crew here are volunteers. Yes, and thy will be done. Amen. So we'll let that run for a little bit of time, and so we'll clear that out, and then we can move on to the repairing the meridians. Now we've cleared this space so many times, and everybody so many times already, so we shouldn't have to do this for too long. But so we'll do that, and I want to just go over and see if there's anything that I might have missed here, because I don't want to miss anything here. Oh, okay, here's something I missed, I want to go over. Here's some illnesses and associations with the meridians. If there's a spleen problem or a spleen meridian's broken, you can have nausea, indigestion, daytime fatigue, dry throat, colds, chills, sneezing, and excess mucus. Governing vessel, back problems, painful legs, teary-eyed, stiff toes, joint pain, and headaches. You know, I wonder if you don't have a break back there. You know that? In the back, right in that area. Because that's where they were showing, right in the lower back there. Because you have painful legs sometimes too, right? With that,
I've had a dozen
yeah,
surgeries.
with that, yeah. Do you have stiff toes or joint pain and headaches along with that?
Not headaches.
Okay, so you got quite a few of those symptoms. All right, the triple warmer will give you shoulder pain, arm pain, cold feeling, pain in the temples. Isn't it funny how it's so specific? Now, the large intestine, this is interesting, toothaches, shoulder pain, loss of finger dexterity, nasal discharge, and constipation. So, you know, I mean, it may not be you have a bad tooth. Maybe you have a break in the large intestine meridian, or, you know, suddenly your fingers get real stiff. The small intestine can give you elbow pain, neck pain, vertigo, deafness, and poor eyesight. Now, the kidney meridian, appetite loss, vision loss, and dark urine.
Ooh.
Yeah, now...
Asparagus.
Asparagus. The conception vessel is chills.
The conception vessel?
Yeah. So if someone suddenly gets chills, that
I
runs
guess.
down the front of your body. So if someone has chills for unknown reason, and they're, you know, it could be because they have breaks in their conception vessel. So, you know, it's really quite complicated. I mean, acupuncturists go to school for a long time to learn this information, and to also sensitize their fingers to know where the blocks are.
Feel the little energy points on the way down.
Yeah. And so...
I just think that woman had enjoyed herself darting me with them things.
Putting the needles in you, yeah. Oh, I know. Did you ever have it where they
Try to
put
get them on the bottom of your feet. It's just wonderful.
Did they put the little ball of thing and light it on fire, like you've
What,
seen?
the Joy Luck Club there setting things on fire? No.
No, you know, on the meridians at the top of the needle,
No,
sometimes
no.
they'll put
They
like a
had
little
something on. I remember
substance,
there was something on it, yeah.
and then they put a heat lamp on it, and you can really feel it. Did you have that done?
All I felt when they did that, I felt like a porcupine in reverse. Okay? And the funny part about it is that I went there I was having some anxiety issues and you know, things like that. And when I came out of there, not that I did smoke, but I certainly did not want to or be around it.
Okay.
So I don't know, it had some positive connotation, that's about it.
Isn't that interesting? Well, I think we better switch to the meridian repair prayer so that we can get that done, because we don't have too much time left. So we send energy to you, God, in the vibration of unconditional love, and ask in the name of Jesus Christ that you send your great energy back to facilitate the work we're doing here today. We ask that you repair our crew and ourselves meridians that are broken or blocked. If it is thy will be done. Amen. You know what? I feel something in my ear. I might have a little break there. Do you feel anything in your body anywhere?
I feel calm.
Do you? I actually feel something in my very, very low back too. I don't know if it's the energy just running, or if maybe I have a little break right somewhere right here and there. Not big enough for you to have picked it up, but enough that I'm feeling it in those areas. Anybody else feeling anything? Anywhere?
No, not yet.
Okay, so of course, one of our fellows here, Mike, he's very energetically sensitive and can feel the energy a lot of the times. So, well, we'll just let that rip, because the main thing is to get it repaired. And so what we'll do is, now these prayers are on my website at adolphinashepherd.com, so you can go there and print it out. and say these prayers or audience yourself, and keep it in a folder. So you should do this every 3 months periodically to make sure, even if they've been repaired, that you haven't had any breaks in the meantime. So, you know, this is something that needs to be checked consistently, so that, because you can get them at any time. You know, if you, anything, electromagnetic frequencies, traumas, accidents, surgeries. Imagine, do you know, one thing I forgot to mention, you also have meridian points in all of your teeth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if you feel, a lot of times, if you feel a toothache coming on, you might actually have a block in that meridian, or something's going on with that meridian. So,
Did you tell everybody about our third season coming up?
oh yeah. Tommy just reminded me to tell everyone, this is our last episode for the second season, and so we've now completed the 7-step basic repair system to your quantum field. And so if you haven't been with us through the whole series, go to YouTube and check them all out so that you can get your entire body fixed, and your health will improve, I guarantee you. And so in our third season, we have a surprise for you. We're going to be taking you on a magic carpet ride, because we're going to shift the format a little bit and give you time to catch up with all the work that we've done. If you haven't seen all the episodes, go back and watch them, and so that you can be in great health. And we're going to actually be showing you many different things. We're going to, there's been many people who've heard of, for instance, psychic readings, and they've never experienced one. And in fact, you know, a lot of people say, oh, it says in the Bible that you shouldn't do that. But you know what? It also has many different quotes in the Bible and Psalms that say where they went to see the seer or the prophet or whatever. So, you know, that was a control feature of the government and the church, that people didn't get this kind of knowledge. We're going to have animal communication. We could bring pictures of the pets when we have our live audience. We can have them bring pictures of their pets.
Soul painter.
Yeah, and we're even going to have soul portraits done. And we got a lot of exciting things lined up here. Medium galleries, iridology, wet cell analysis, many things you've never seen. These modalities are unknown, but are really wonderful to
experience, and to help you answer some of the questions that you may have about certain things in your life. Another thing I'd like to bring into thing is that we're in the super moon phase right now. Did you see that moon last night?
Oh my God, I did. About 4 o'clock in the morning, I had to get up. I looked out the window because it was so bright, and the moon was enormous. I mean, it was huge.
And what is it? It's like 31,000 miles closer to us than normal, which really makes it appear huge. And the next time it's going to do that will be in September 2015. What date? I don't know.
Yeah, and you know what?
Oh,
yes, in
too.
September, yeah, there's meteor showers tonight connected with that. And when I did look out and see that moon, the aura was enormous of the moon. I mean, I could see
I was at the
it was
beach,
so
and I was
huge.
watching it come out of the ocean, which was beautiful. It was really nice, bright orange, and very. Well, I guess if you're done it with somebody,
Yeah.
it's romantic. I
Yeah,
guess.
it would have been. Well, you know what? It sure. We didn't need any lights on last night outside because the moon was so bright you could see.
That's true.
You know, so
Let's wrap it up.
yeah. So I guess we're gonna have to say goodbye, and we want to thank everybody
I'll switch it up a little bit.
for volunteering, and our crew and the station. And who else? I don't want to forget anybody.
Our sponsors, Antonio's Pork Store, which is down in Tottenville, and Aardvark Pest Control, Great Kills, Vincent Bonacore, President.
And
Good friend of mine.
most of all, God, right? I mean, because it's the divine who does all this, and our angels
That keeps
who
us here.
assist.
That keeps
right?
us here and keeps us bringing the message that you can do this for yourself.
Why don't you tell the audience what day and time that you're on each week?
Oh, you know what? Now we may be changing our time slot. You know, it's been Thursday nights and Friday mornings. But now I think we're going to be
Well, we put in for
shifting.
the, yeah, we put in for the new series, and it may wind up still staying at Monday night, but you would never know.
When we tape, but then it's shown on TV on Thursday night at 8, right? And what channel? I forget. It was
79.
79, and
Or
'cause-
35 if you're on FiOS.
and then on Friday morning at 8 a.m., right?
it's
8
early,
a.m. And so that may be staying the same or it may be shifting, but don't worry, we'll give you plenty of notice in advance. And remember, again, to go on to the website and check
If they have
out the
questions, they can
prayers.
leave you questions, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. If you have any questions, also, you can email me at Adolphina Shephard at msn.com. And I also want to tell you why it's still available. I don't have any of these books left for sale, but this is my book here, YTVY the Manual, How to Perform Miraculous Healing Through Energy Medicine. And you can get that on Amazon.com still, although I wrote this a few years ago.
No, it's available on Amazon.
Yeah, it's available on Amazon still. And you can this will kind of give you additional information at a more time than we can give you here.
All right, wrap it up.
Yeah, so I guess we say bye-bye now, and we want to thank you for listening because you make it all possible. Right?
You got that.
Right. Good night.
Okay. Have a good night, everyone.